What's good with you people? Dogysamich again. Went to Reboot again for what could possibly be the last tournament Georgia sees before we go into the Corona cooldown for who knows how long. It's a pretty interesting little tournament. It's decent turnout, all things considered. It was actually kind of cool that they wound up with a lot more people traveling to Reboot than there were people from Macon specifically. But they still had enough to fill 4 brackets, and there were some pretty interesting things throughout each of them. There's no pictures involved in this one because, I've been to Reboot enough that I didn't feel like getting the phone out for this one. But the first one I'm going to start with, I can go with Street Fighter. It's pretty short, pretty simple, pretty sweet, to the point. Terrence was there. With the way things have been going lately in all of the state, I could get away with saying Terrence is at the tournament, Terrence won. It's that simple. Painbot got second, but the surprising thing that you're seeing down here in losers finals is that Bates got third. And I say that's surprising because between Shadow Ace and Do You Want More, I kind of figured that one of those two would take either the number 3 or even the number 2 slot. But I guess by proxy of having Terrence over at their house all the time, Painbot and Bates can play enough Street Fighters to where I can really put them on this. Well, it's the third tier with how I have everything going, but in the gatekeeper tier, if you will. So, yeah, just adding more numbers to the ranks of the Street Fighter squad of Georgia. That's pretty cool. The next one, I guess I'll go over here to the biggest event, which I'm calling the fraud bracket, if you will. Grand Blue. It's not a fraud because of who won. Joel, again, won another tournament. I really feel like Joel is the big ambassador of Grand Blue in the state. He hasn't been out to everything, I believe. I could be wrong, but he's gone to the most, it feels like, and he's traveled the furthest. And it seems like he's always trying to put himself wherever Grand Blue is happening, no matter how big or how small. So it's just nice to see him again going all the way down to Macon and making sure that he remains in a pretty dominant position. Terrence got second, and Painbot got third. But the reason why I came over here, not so much for this top 3, because again, here's a kind of common trend that is happening now for a lot of tournaments, especially the ones I go to. And I imagine it'll be a pretty prevalent thing when everything starts gearing back up once we somehow defeat Corona. These 3, Terrence, Joel, and Painbot, are again 3 people that meet pretty often at Painbot sessions. So there's a common trend that goes on. But even that's not why I'm here. That's not why I'm here. This fraud right here. I don't know who this is. I don't know where they came from. I don't know how they got. I know exactly who that is. Fraud Swagger. L.A. Swagger from the Ojo Lasagna. All right, that's all you get. I do have to point this out because this is their bigger event. I talked about this. I touched on this in the last wrap up where I went up tomorrow to chill with the Zone Breakers. And I did point out that Coach and I have been trying to get the Reboot crew and the Zone Breakers to kind of, collaborate with each other, help boost each other out. The Zone Breakers came down with a pretty beefy squad. Joel counts. I was about to say he doesn't count because he travels everywhere Grand Blue, but he is zone breaker. So you include Joel. You also had Lupe's Lounge. You had Ty Noon, and you had where is he at? Where is he at? Did he get a bye? Sonido, there he is. I was like, there's no way he gets a bye in the first round. But yeah, they came with some numbers to help bolster up the squad up. To bolster up the ranks, bolster up the brackets, I need to come up with another metaphor and analogy. They put more people in the bracket. They put more money in the pot. It's cool to see them there. And from the sounds of it, they had a pretty cool time. I want to say that was either Ty Noon or Lupe's first time in Macon. I can't remember which one, but from what I understand, they had a pretty good time. It's nice to see Gasly come down as well. Gasly was also at Team Net. A lot of people I saw for 2 nights in a row. It's also cool to see D-Legend. He was in, I want to say, the first wrap-up I did of Reboot. Way back when playing Street Fighter against Tasty Blue. So yeah, nice that he was able to make it all the way out from, I want to say, Milledgeville. He has to travel a while to get there. So yeah, the Grand Blue bracket, it's a pretty good bracket. All right, I'm not even going to front here. Had something happen, so had to do a second cut finally. But moving on. Had some of that Tekken going on. Tekken was pretty interesting. It's the second biggest tournament. The results don't really surprise me too much. And that's even considering that there are a lot of people that you usually see in Tekken that weren't there. You didn't see, like, Jester, for example. You didn't see the Crew Round 2 boys, Shaolin, and Korean Panda. You had some new faces there. Again, the Zone Breakers. You had Natural Killers, or Natural Born Killers. You might know them as either or. But even with that, seeing Hutch and Chambliss taking the 1 and 2 spot isn't a surprise at all. It was a pretty good set between the two of them. Pretty good sets, if you will, winners and grands. Even if it wasn't a reset in grands, it was a pretty close set. The poor table that was holding the setup would agree with me. But nonetheless, it was a pretty solid Reboot Tekken Bracket. And that leaves me with the last piece of the tournament. Now, I say the last one, don't get me wrong. Tekken was the main event. They always try to have Tekken as the main event. But the one thing that stood out to me the entire day was Sam's show. And it wasn't the results, although don't get me wrong, Bates taking the entire tournament without dropping a game. Yes, these results are all accurate. Took the tournament without dropping a game is pretty good. Took the entire tournament playing Mina. You had like Terrence and Painbot completely dumbfounded as to what to do. They were at a loss. But that still wasn't the highlight of the tournament. So somewhere in the middle, I decided to make good on Reboot's deal for getting, I forget how much it is, like 20-25% off from Fatty's Pizza, who has been sponsoring Reboot for quite a long time. I went to go get some pizza, all right? I came back, and I looked at the brackets, and I saw whoosh, this. And quite frankly, I was confused. I still don't believe it. I sat at work and I watched this set and I still don't believe it. But, yeah, man. It's a new day. Terrence, who is, you just put him in the running for winning any Sam Show tournament in the state. And he gets put out of the tournament, not in third place, not in second place, but like somewhere down in seventh to Shadow Ace. That's an upset. And that's not trying to take anything away from Shadow Ace. Terrence even said it himself. He wasn't ready for it. But it's the fact that it happened. It's like, whoa. You want to talk about making big on a bet? Somebody could have got a good fortune from that one right there. But that is just one result in the many matches that went on this past weekend at Reboot. And hopefully this won't be the last Reboot. I mean, it's going to be the last one for a while because, again, we ain't got no tournaments on the horizon, man. Rona out there running supreme. But that doesn't mean the wrap-ups are going to go away. I assume everything's going to start going to, like, online for a while. But I'll worry about that. That's my problem for these. For you, though, I got to give you my thanks again for chilling with me, especially through both of these cuts. And just keep your ears out. I'm going to keep you posted on whatever else happens in my site. But until next time, be easy, yo, and wash your hands.